Aliyah Boston and the Indiana Fever are positioned for a championship run, and that's despite facing one of the most challenging seasons in recent WNBA history. What happened to the league's 2023 #1 draft pick shows exactly why the rest of the WNBA should be watching. Boston isn't your typical professional athlete. At just 22 years old, she's carved out a reputation as one of the most dominant forces in women's basketball. And her recent contract extension with Indiana proves the franchise believes she's their cornerstone. But what makes Boston's story compelling isn't just her court accomplishments. It's how she's handled adversity and built something bigger than basketball. The most recent development has everyone talking. Indiana exercised their fourth-year option on Boston, locking her in through 2026. For those who don't follow the WNBA closely, this might seem routine. But consider this. Boston became the first rookie in league history to lead in field goal percentage at 57.8%. That's unprecedented efficiency for a first-year professional player. The timing of this extension tells us everything about how the Fever view Boston's value. This wasn't a decision made in isolation. The front office watched Boston navigate what can only be described as a season from hell, and they saw something that convinced them she's worth years of investment. Let's talk about what the 2025 campaign really looked like for Indiana. The Fever finished 24-20 in the regular season, which sounds respectable until you understand the context. This team was absolutely decimated by injuries in ways that would have crushed most franchises. Caitlin Clark, their franchise cornerstone, and the player everyone expected to carry the team, played only 13 games due to quad, groin, and ankle problems. Imagine trying to run a championship-caliber team when your star sits out most of the season. The injury crisis didn't stop there. Sydney Colson went down with a torn ACL, ending her season completely. Aari McDonald suffered a fractured right foot requiring season-ending surgery. Sophie Cunningham tore her right MCL, another season-ending injury. Chloe Bibby dealt with persistent knee swelling that kept her sidelined for extended periods. By any reasonable measure, the Fever should have been out of playoff contention by mid-season. Instead, something remarkable happened. With Boston anchoring the team, the Fever not only survived, but thrived. They won the Commissioner's Cup championship on July 1st, defeating Minnesota 74-59 in a performance that showcased exactly what this team could accomplish when Boston led the charge. Think about that. While other teams were at full strength, the injury-riddled Fever captured a championship with their rookie sensation leading the way. Boston's individual performance during this challenging season speaks volumes about her character and skill level. She averaged 15.0 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game while shooting 53.8% from the field. These aren't just solid numbers. They represent the production of a player who stepped up when her team needed her most. She appeared in 44 games, staying remarkably injury-free while teammates dropped around her and earned her third consecutive All-Star appearance. The recognition didn't stop at the All-Star level. Boston was selected to both the All-WNBA second team and the All-WNBA second defensive team, acknowledgments of her two-way impact. But perhaps more impressively, she accomplished all this while essentially carrying a team that had every excuse to fail. The Fever's playoff run provides the perfect example of Boston's impact under pressure. Despite all their injuries, they pushed the defending champion Las Vegas Aces to 5 games in what became an overtime thriller. Game 5 went to overtime on September 30th, and while the Fever ultimately fell short, the series served notice to the rest of the league that this young core could compete with anyone. After that heartbreaking playoff loss, Boston delivered what might be the most telling statement of her career. Looking directly into the cameras, she said, "Be ready, be ready. I think this year we showed a lot about what we're capable of, and we didn't even have our full squad at full strength. And so yeah, that's it. Be ready." You might think that sounds like typical athlete trash talk, but consider the context. Boston had just watched her team take the defending champions to the brink, despite missing their best player for most of the season. She'd personally averaged elite numbers while dealing with the pressure of being the primary option night after night. When someone with that track record tells the league to be ready, smart people listen. What makes Boston's warning particularly ominous for the rest of the WNBA is the trajectory the Fever are on heading into 2026. Caitlin Clark is expected to be healthy and ready to return to form. The supporting cast that was decimated by injuries will be back. And Boston herself will be entering her fourth professional season with 3 years of experience handling pressure, leading a team, and proving she can compete at the highest level. Boston's impact extends far beyond the basketball court, and this is where her story becomes fascinating for anyone interested in how modern athletes build their brands and legacies. She was recently named to Forbes' 30 Under 30 list for 2026 in the sports category, sharing that honor with fellow WNBA star Paige Bueckers. This recognition wasn't just about her on-court performance, it acknowledged her growing influence as a businesswoman and investor. The most significant example of Boston's business acumen came with her recent investment in Boston Legacy FC, a National Women's Soccer League expansion franchise scheduled to debut in 2026. This represents her first major investment outside professional basketball, and it shows the kind of long-term thinking that separates elite athletes from those who simply play their sport and retire. Think about the strategic intelligence behind this move. Boston is investing in women's professional sports during a period of unprecedented growth. The NWSL has been expanding rapidly, attendance is up, television coverage is increasing, and corporate sponsors are taking notice. By getting in early with an expansion franchise, Boston is positioning herself to benefit from that growth while supporting the advancement of women's athletics more broadly. The timing of this investment also coincides with her multi-year sponsorship deal with Adidas, which provides her with the financial stability to make these kinds of strategic investments. Boston isn't just earning money from basketball. She's building a diversified portfolio that will serve her long after her playing career ends. That's the kind of forward-thinking approach that successful people in any field can appreciate. What's particularly impressive about Boston's approach to business is how she's maintained her focus on basketball excellence while building these outside ventures. Many athletes struggle to balance their athletic careers with business interests, but Boston seems to have found a way to make each area of her life complement the others. Her success on the court increases her marketability and investment opportunities, while her business success provides her with the financial freedom to focus entirely on basketball during the season. The Forbes recognition also highlights something important about how Boston has managed her public image. She's not just known for her basketball skills, she's recognized as someone who understands how to build and leverage a personal brand. In an era where athletes have more control over their public personas than ever before, Boston has shown remarkable savvy in presenting herself as both an elite competitor and a serious businesswoman. Looking ahead to the 2026 season, all of these factors combine to create what could be a perfect storm for the Indiana Fever. Boston will be playing on a team-friendly contract that runs through 2026, giving the franchise financial flexibility to build around her and Clark. The supporting cast that was devastated by injuries will be healthy and motivated after watching how close they came to a championship despite their setbacks. And Boston herself will be entering the season with 3 years of professional experience and the confidence that comes from proving she can lead a team to success. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Boston's situation heading into 2026 is the chip she'll be carrying on her shoulder. Despite everything she accomplished in 2025, leading an injury-ravaged team to a championship, making the All-Star team for the 3rd straight year, earning all WNBA honors, the Fever still fell short in the playoffs. That kind of near miss can either crush a player or fuel them to reach even greater heights. Everything about Boston's personality and track record suggests she'll choose the latter option. This is someone who became the first rookie to lead the WNBA in field goal percentage, who stepped up when her team needed her most, and who had the confidence to warn the entire league to be ready after a playoff loss. That's not someone who's going to be satisfied with moral victories. The business ventures add another layer to Boston's motivation. Her investment in Boston Legacy FC and her recognition on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list establish her as someone with interests and ambitions beyond basketball. But they also create additional pressure to succeed on the court because athletic success drives everything else. The better Boston plays, the more valuable her brand becomes, and the more opportunities open up for her in business and entertainment. There's also the factor of legacy to consider. Boston is still early in her career, but she's already achieved things that most WNBA players never accomplish. She's been an All-Star 3 times, made all WNBA teams, led the league in shooting percentage as a rookie, and helped her team win a championship during a season when everything went wrong. But individual accolades and team championships during rebuilding years are different from leading a healthy, championship-caliber team to the ultimate prize. The 2026 season represents Boston's best opportunity to date to capture a WNBA championship with a team that's built to win rather than a team that's overachieving despite adversity. Clark will be healthy, the supporting cast will be back, and Boston herself will be in her prime with contract security that allows her to focus entirely on basketball. If there was ever a time for the Fever to make a serious championship run, 2026 appears to be it. What makes this situation particularly compelling is how it reflects broader trends in women's professional sports. Boston's success story, from dominant rookie to business-savvy veteran in just 3 years, demonstrates the kind of opportunities that are available to elite female athletes in today's market. The combination of athletic excellence, business acumen, and media savvy that Boston has displayed represents a blueprint that other young athletes can follow. The contract extension through 2026 also provides stability that's crucial for both Boston and the Fever organization. Boston doesn't have to worry about her immediate future or negotiate during the season, which allows her to focus entirely on basketball. The Fever know they have their cornerstone locked up, which gives them the confidence to make other moves and investments designed to build a championship team around her. When Boston told the league to be ready after that playoff loss, she wasn't making empty threats. She was someone who had just proven she could lead a decimated team to within 1 game of eliminating the defending champions. She was someone who had shown she could perform under pressure, handle adversity, and rise to the occasion when her team needed her most. And she was someone who knew that the next season would bring back a healthy roster with championship aspirations. The combination of Boston's individual excellence, the Fever's organizational commitment, and the broader trends in women's professional sports creates a perfect storm heading into 2026. Boston has proven she can lead. The team has proven it can compete even when everything goes wrong, and the league has never been more competitive or more visible. That warning Boston issued, "Be ready," wasn't just directed at opposing teams. It was a statement to the entire WNBA that the Indiana Fever, led by Aliyah Boston, are preparing to make a serious run at a championship. And based on everything we've seen from Boston over her first 3 professional seasons, the rest of the league would be wise to take that warning seriously. The 2026 season can't come soon enough.